driving while I film this start to this vlog. So just kind of explain what I'm doing. And also, I'm going to work because I have returned back to my office, at least hybrid-wise. All masked though still. I don't know if the lighting's going to be very good while I film this because it's kind of overcast today, but I will try my best. So I'm going to work Monday morning, and I am doing, to continue with my theme of Jane Austen June, I'm doing a Jane Austen themed vlog, and that's going to be including mostly doing some of the retellings that I mentioned in my Jane Austen retellings video. I will link it up above in the cards. I'm reading some of those that I mentioned, and I'll kind of reveal them as I go. As well as there is a month-long giveaway in my Jane Austen guide. I will also link it up in the cards, and you can enter my giveaway by leaving a comment. And I think that's it for my theme of Jane Austen June. So for this vlog, I am starting with, the audiobook I am starting with is Aisha at Last. So that is a Muslim Pride and Prejudice retelling. And I think that one I'm going to start today and go from there. I was able to get that one on Libby. I also want to start reading, I don't know if I'll start reading it today, but definitely soon, is going to be Pride by E.B. Zaboy. That one is going to be the Pride and Prejudice retelling that includes Afro-Latina characters and about gentrification and cultural identity. I really, really want to check that one out. So that is the one I am doing. So I'm starting out with those two. I have a couple other planned that I know I'm going to get to. And then I have a couple planned that I don't know if I'm going to get to. But we're going to try. So it's going to be a week-long vlog. This is my Monday, heading into work. I'm probably going to be start listening to Aisha at Last on audio on my way to work. Join me on this ride of Jane Austen retellings. I'm really excited to read some of these, and yeah, I will talk to you later. just lying down in my bedroom because my phone's dying, so I had to plug it in, and my plug is only in my bedroom. I don't know, cause reasons. So I just wanted to update on reading Aisha at Last. I'm really enjoying it, actually. It is hitting a lot of really the same beats as Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice, which I really loved. I loved the line that was in the first chapter that references the very first line of Pride and Prejudice, which is a pretty popular, familiar one. I'm not going to exactly be able to quote it probably, but it's of somewhere of a man of good fortune is in want of a wife. And in this case, the line was, a Muslim man is in want of a wife. And I just thought that was just so great. It was a nice way to reference Pride and Prejudice as a nice way to make it a twist and a nice way to make it different and make this clear it was a retelling. I just think it was really well done. This book, you have Aisha. Aisha is older as considered to be unmarried. She's 27 years old and she has not found a husband. She works as a teacher. She just finished her teaching program and she's working as a substitute teacher. And then you have Khalid. Khalid is very traditional Muslim in his dress, at least. And he's quiet. He works in IT. And then you have Hafsa. Hafsa is Aisha's cousin. And Hafsa is kind of giving me... So Aisha and Khalid are clearly the Elizabeth Darcy pairing. And definitely has the first insult that Aisha overhears, and so she's making judgments of Khalid right from the get-go. Hafsa is Aisha's cousin, and Hafsa is kind of giving off Lydia vibes, like something's gonna happen, something's gonna go wrong. Khalid's sister, you're getting a little bit of. Khalid's sister is not in Canada, which is where this book is set. She is in India, and she was basically, it's implied, but you don't know why. It's implied that she did something that caused the family scandal and she was sent to India to get a husband and not come back. You get a little bit of the Khalid and his sister are still in contact, but not very much. It's hitting the marks and it's really good. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really liking the different spin it has on things, and I think there's some really interesting, but there's also bringing some interesting topics to the conversation. Just like there's the traditional arranged marriages that Hafsa is going through. And Hafsa's like boy crazy. She's like already had like 45 proposals. And Hafsa is just so flippant about it. And Aisha is like, you just need to take this seriously. And Aisha thinks it's outdated and she thinks it's cumbersome and awkward. And she doesn't like the traditional... because they have to traditionally meet with their parents, and it's just really stilted and really awkward to discuss a marriage in that kind of context. At least this is the way that the book's portraying it. That it's not bad, it's just awkward, which I think that could be a very awkward conversation. Hafsa is supposed to be doing this event planning, supposed to help with this conference that she's supposed to be a part of. And instead, Hafsa convinces Aisha to go and pretend to be her to help plan this event, which Aisha is helping plan with Khalid. So he thinks that her name is Hafsa, and Aisha is pretending to be Hafsa. So that's kind of a twist. That's like a mistaken identity. It's a mistaken identity trope that we have going on. And I like that this book also does little bits about Shakespeare. Like, Aisha's grandparents are very involved, and so they mention Shakespeare often. They've read her Shakespeare. So which I think is a mistaken identity thing. It's a very Shakespeare trope indeed. So I like that kind of reference as well. Yes, I'm really liking it. I'm about 40% in. It's building up really well. Like, even though obviously this is a Muslim romance, so at least for the beginning, it's not very spicy. I don't know if it's ever going to go in that direction probably, but I'm still liking what it's doing. It's still building tension, and I love tension building. And I love just like that drawn out, like slow burn kind of feeling. I just love that. And it's definitely building that, and I think it's doing it really well, and I'm really liking it. So yes, so super enjoyable. And I'm also gonna start Pride. I'm probably gonna start reading that tonight, at least get through. It's really short, actually. It's only like barely 300 pages or like 250, so I want to at least start it tonight and get started. I want to get started on it tonight and we'll go from there, and I'll give you updates on that as well. But I just really wanted to update about Aisha at last because I'm really enjoying it. So I didn't do any reading of Pride, but I was booktube planning. So this is what I use. I'm just using a notebook, nothing fancy. Doing some TBRs, planning for wrap-ups, planning for my mid-year freakout tag. Yeah, my handwriting's atrocious. That's what I use. Look at my atrocious handwriting and all of my notes of all of my videos. I do like the quote, though. So yeah, no reading, but booktube planning and watching Loki, which is also important. Hopefully more tomorrow. Hello everyone, it's Wednesday. I've got my makeup on and I was going to go to work. And then I saw that it rained this morning. Okay, now it's dried up. But it rained this morning and then I was like, I'm not going outside. And I had a bunch of meetings and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to prepare for my meetings instead. Anyway, I just wanted to hop on real quick and just... I read some more of Aisha at last night after I just had feelings after I was in bed, and you know the moment where like you're like, oh no, things are about to go down. And for me, when those kind of moments happen, like I like read it like this, like I'm reading it like this, like what's gonna happen? And especially secondhand embarrassment, I am like can't handle it in a book. So I have to like take a moment. So we just got to a part where, and this is not spoiling anything because this is also in the blurb, where Khalid, our Darcy type character, has gotten engaged to Hafsa without his knowing. But he does not know that Hafsa is not who he thinks it is. It's a mistaken identity. Aisha has been pretending to be Hafsa. His mother orchestrated it because she found out he's been hanging out with Aisha, and she knows that Aisha is like very outspoken and older, and so she was like, absolutely not. So she arranged with him to be with Hafsa, and he already thinks that he is Hafsa, so he's like thrilled because he thinks that it's the girl that he's been falling in love with this whole time. And Aisha just learned that Hafsa got engaged to Khalid, and Hafsa's like doing this petty like, ha ha ha, I got the man right under your nose. And so Aisha's devastated. Oh no, Khalid's gonna go to his engagement party and realize that he's engaged to the wrong woman, and I'm like so scared. I'm so worried. So I think this mistaken identity is definitely not Pride and Prejudice, but I think it's also, like I said, it's mentioning Shakespeare a lot. So I think it's playing on a Shakespeare trope, and also I think we're using this particular scenario to replace the terrible proposal scene where Darcy proposes and she rejects him and it's like a hot mess. And I think this particular scenario is replacing that scene, which I can appreciate, and I think that there's something new and interesting in that. At least I don't think it's going to be in it. It doesn't look like that. That's the direction that this is going in. But I'm still really enjoying Aisha at last. I'm really liking their connection. I think they're really cute. So I'm going to continue on and read through this next part because I'm really worried. I'm really, really nervous about how they're going to get through this. We'll find out. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying this book more than I thought I was going to. So that's exciting. And makes me go, maybe I should read all these retellings more often. I will give you an update later. As far as plans for today, I have a bunch of meetings today. And then I'm going to have book club tonight where I'm talking about Rock Chick by, I think it's Kristen Ashley. I just listened to audio. I just finished that this weekend. So I am going to be talking about it with my book club. Local book club has been meeting over Zoom for the last several since COVID. So we're going to be meeting. So we've been meeting over Zoom, and they recently started the romance book club over the last, I want to say 9 months or so. I don't think we've been going quite a year, but almost. And then there's other genres that they focus on, and sometimes I join, sometimes I don't, depending on the book. But the romance one is like, they're my people. I go to that one all the time. Shout out to my romance crew if anyone's watching. Anyway, so yeah, super fun. I'm gonna go get more ready for my meetings, and hopefully about 50% through Aisha at last. I'll probably get through a quarter more of it tonight and finish tomorrow, I'm thinking. And Pride is about 250 pages, and that's the one that I want to start. I really hope I start it today. Cross fingers. And yeah. Okay. Until later. Hi, checking in. I have to talk a little bit lower. I hope the microphone will pick me up because my husband just went to sleep. It's getting late, so around 11:30. I'm not tired at all because I'm an idol, but he hasn't been sleeping well the last couple nights, so he crashed out. I just wanted to hop on because I just had a really interesting interaction that led me to kind of a realization about myself. And I felt like it was relevant to BookTube, and so I don't know, I'm doing a vlog. I thought I would share it. Whether it's interesting or helpful to anybody else, I don't know, but here we go. Let me start off with saying that tonight I had book club. So, as I mentioned before, this is a local book club. We meet on Zoom, and we recently have been starting a romance series. So, we've been reading a romance book every month, and I've been doing that book club since the romance group has started because I was really excited to have a book club exclusively talk about romance. I've never been in a book club that talked exclusively about romance before. And it did not disappoint, and it's been a lot of fun and a great journey, and I've been seeing a lot of the same people and getting to know them, and it's been a lot of fun. So tonight I had book club. It was a really small group. A lot of people didn't end up showing up, maybe because it's June and summertime, I don't know, which was fine. And but we still ended up having a great conversation. And one of the members from the book club reached out to me and said some really sweet comments. And it really, really meant a lot to me. And I had to explore why it meant a lot to me and why I was so impacted by her comment. So this is when I will backtrack. Several years ago, when I was in college, in my favorite class of Gothic fiction, which I've done a whole video about, so obviously it made a huge impact on me, one of my favorite college classes that I had of all time. I was super excited about our syllabus and what we were planning on reading, and super excited about the class. With some, also I had some of my fellow English majors that were friends of mine were in that class. It obviously made a huge impact on me, that particular class. About halfway into the semester, my professor took me aside and told me that I needed to tone it down. I had never been told that because I actually, up until college, I feel like I actually was pretty quiet in most of my classes. Like, I was known as being sort of a talker for people I got along with, but not necessarily everyone. So I was really taken aback by her telling me to tone it down. Granted, we were talking about Jane Eyre, which if you've watched my channel, you know it's one of my all-time favorite books. And I definitely had to defend Jane Eyre with my life. But I think the reason I was so invested in what I was talking about is because I love books. I love books so much. If it's not clear, I have a YouTube channel entirely devoted to books. And I was studying to become an English major because I loved books. Even though I knew it probably wasn't necessarily going to lead to a career, I had no clue what direction I was going within, but I knew this is what I wanted to learn and what I wanted to study and what I wanted to do. So her taking me aside and telling me that I was too much and overbearing it kind of hurt me. It was really hurtful. And I was young. Now I'm 35. And I was 21. I was really young, 20, when I had that conversation. And so I was really taken aback and really hurt by her saying that, especially in my Gothic fiction class, which I was super excited about and obviously made a huge impact. It's one of my favorite classes that I had, one of my all-time favorite classes that I had in my major, top 3, bar none. I ended up checking in with my peers. A lot of my friends were in that class, and I was like, hey, am I being overbearing? Am I being too much? Please let me know. I want to be aware of that because that's not what I want to be. And all of them said, I mean, you are, but in a good way. It's not too much. You're just really passionate, and that's fine. So I had several people tell me that it was fine, that I was doing okay, that she was out of line. So I was like, okay, but I never forgot that feeling, and I never forgot, I made people feel uncomfortable, according to her, and according to the teacher, I should say. And so even though I checked in with my peers, I tamed it down a little bit. I don't think I ever got as passionate as I did from the beginning of the semester as opposed to towards the end. So flash forward to now.
So we had book club tonight. Like I said, I've been meeting with several of these women for the last several months. So this particular book club member who reached out to me, we were talking about a book that she was reading that I really liked, and she was saying, "Oh yeah, no, I ended up really enjoying it. The ending was really good." And in that side conversation, she said, "Hey, I just want to let you know that your comments and perspective on romance has really made me think, and I really appreciate the knowledge that you bring to the discussions." And I was like really touched by that. That meant so much to me. And then I was like, wow, why am I having such a strong visceral reaction to her comment? And then I thought of my professor. And I was like, and I thought about how ever since I've joined this book club, I mean, granted, I've kind of, when we were meeting in person, I kind of came in and out. I didn't usually always attend as religiously as I have been lately because COVID and life. I've been joining much more often, so I'm getting to know a lot of them much better. But I always, when I showed up to these book clubs, I always would tell the hosts, like, if I'm being too much, if I'm being overbearing, if I'm talking too much, please let me know. Like, tell me to shut up. Like, it's fine. Like, in a self-deprecating way, but also letting them know, like, hey, like, let me know if I'm a little bit too in your face about this book that I either loved or hated or was ambivalent about. Let me know. And they never did. They never have told me that, or they've never said that I've been too much or what have you, which is a good thing. So my phone just decided to delete part of that clip that you just saw. Anyway, I'm going to try to recapture some of what I was trying to say. None of the book club members have ever told me I need to tone it down. My channel has become a really great place for me to talk about books safely as well. And I probably would have discovered BookTube years ago if maybe I hadn't had the interaction, if I hadn't been told that I needed to tone it down. I guess in essence, it just really meant a lot to me because of what I experienced before. And also has made me realize that I have things worth contributing to discussions, and that means a lot. And that's very validating. And it's also how far I've come on my channel as well. I mean, obviously, I'll be honest, this month's content of Jane Austen June has kind of flopped. But I really still wanted to do it, and I really still wanted to make it, and I still love the idea. So I went ahead and still made it, even though it's gotten some of the lowest views I have had in any of my videos. And that's okay. I'm still sharing the kind of content that I'm passionate about and what means a lot to me, when I don't think I necessarily would have done that even a year ago. And that ever since I started my channel, I've been reading with such intention. I feel like before my channel, it was survival reading. Just reading just because it's part of my soul and I still have to, but not necessarily with intention. And my channel has helped me read with intention, and I really appreciate that. And I really appreciate everyone here who has watched, who has subscribed, who has liked videos, who has seen my content and commented. I just really, really appreciate every single interaction. It really, really means a lot to me, because it shows that other people are just as passionate about books as I am. I don't need to tone it down. I can be just as loud and vocal as we want. Yeah, so I'm just super grateful right now. I'm just feeling just overwhelmed. And it's so funny that I'm 35 and I still figure things out about myself. The things that years ago still have a huge impact on me. Just made me grateful for my channel, grateful for how far I've come, and also really validating that people appreciate what I have to say and what I contribute to discussions about books. It means a lot, really. I said it better in the last clip, but it's gone now. So this is what we have to deal with. And with that said, I'm going to, I really, really want to start Pride. Now it's almost close to midnight. I really want to slowly start it. It's the Prince, a lot of spacing. So I feel like it'll read really quickly. And so I want to just at least start it and kind of get a feel for it. And we'll just see how far I get until I get tired, I guess. And just thank you so much for being here with me on this journey. I really appreciate you as well. So I'm going to read for a little bit and then head to bed until I check in later. And I'm back. Hello. It's Friday. Skip Thursday. Here's my glass of milk. Yeah, I drink a glass of milk every day because I'm still a child. I'm not been really in a good headspace, so I'm sorry about that. But I'm also eating a donut because I'm in a PMSing and feeling like fuck everything and breaking my diet, whatever. This is life. So yesterday I was just kind of like, wasn't a very good mental health day, so I ended up just kind of watching Hallmark movies instead of reading. But I didn't end up finishing Aisha last. And I was wrong. There did end up being a proposal scene, but it ended up happening later in the story. I feel like the middle was a little bit clunky because that was when it went away from the Pride and Prejudice narrative a little bit more. So it was a little bit awkward, but it was more like character development for the two main characters to go through that when he was engaged to Hafsa, which was like a whole storyline. And that whole scene when he finds out is like heartbreaking. Oh my God. But then some serious events happens, and I don't want to spoil too much of it, but then there is like a proposal scene that's traditional. There is like a character that's Wickham, and there's sort of a character that's like Colin, who's the guy who makes the initial marriage offers who's particularly odious in Pride and Prejudice. But I feel like because it was such a slow beginning and kind of a slow burn, really, and then the middle was kind of clunky, and then the ending happened very, very quickly, and the pacing felt a little bit off. I think that the middle could have been a little bit more condensed, and then the pacing wouldn't have been off towards the end. Also, the author made a choice. Most of the book is in two perspectives, in Aisha's and in Khalid's, which I kind of liked, because that's like having a Darcy perspective is kind of fun, and getting to see like his attraction to her was great. But there was like maybe more than 5, less than 10 times where the perspective changes and ends up being an omnipotent third instead of a close third perspective narrative, which is fine. I don't usually have a problem with it, but it happened so sparingly that when the first time it happened, I was kind of taken aback. And then it didn't happen for a really long time, and then it happened again kind of more towards the middle, which I thought was a choice, and it could have been done better, or it could have been not done at all. But there was 2 scenes that I liked it for that reason, because there was 2 particular scenes that I was like, ooh, those scenes were good to see. But I also felt like it just made the writing a little bit clunky, and it kind of was very jarring to be like, oh, I'm actually in a different perspective right now. Maybe that's being nitpicky, but that's just something that I pay attention to, and something that I usually keep aware of, and so I think it was, maybe other people wouldn't mind it, but it was kind of bothersome and cumbersome to me. Sugary goodness, it tastes so good right now. But the ending was really sweet, and just how it was told and just how it was different but also the same was really, really good. It did what I like with retellings. It took this original story and did something new with it, and did something different because of the characters used, because of the Muslim representation. Just really, really well done in that regard. I also would say one of the other things that I had an issue with too was the narrator chosen. Obviously the narrator chosen did a great job. I usually try to get people of color to narrate correctly, especially for accents and for things that have specific representation or language or that kind of thing. So obviously you had to have someone who was familiar and comfortable with Pakistani Muslim names, which I thought the narrator did really well in that regard. However, I felt like the narrator did not do a very good job in voicing the characters. I had a really hard time with Aisha and Khalid's voice. They sounded very similar, especially, and also with Nana and Nani, who were Aisha's grandparents. And I kept getting them confused because, first of all, the names are very familiar, and one's a grandfather and one's her grandmother, and second of all, the voices just weren't very differentiated very well. That was kind of one of the things, especially because I'm listening at 2 times speed, so I need these characters to sound really distinct. Maybe they sounded different at 1 time speed, but 2 times speed, it was really hard to tell. I don't know if it was a 1 time speed thing. I was just thinking it was just the differentiation wasn't as clear. And again, that might be considered a little bit nitpicky. But them coming together was really well done. I was like, the last 3 hours, I couldn't put it down. I had to listen to it because I had to know if they ended up together. I had to make sure it still worked out, and it did, and it came together really, really well, and I really appreciated it. I loved the growth for Khalid. I liked the growth for Hafsa, who's like the Lydia character.
I liked the growth for Aisha too. I just thought I thought it was really done well, and I liked it for that reason. And I was like, man, I should read retellings all the time, because there was something really comforting about getting to feeling like a reread, but being different enough that you felt like you were reading something new, and that was really enjoyable. And that's the kind of thing a retelling should do and should be if it's good. So yes, I'm rating this one 4 stars, just because of the little bit of the clunky writing for me and the pacing a little bit. It was going to be about 4.5, but then, like I said, the jarring perspective changes was a little much. So I think I'm going to make it more of a 4, but solid. I really, really enjoyed it. I really like this. And yes, that was a lot of fun. Next, I've been reading, I started it, haven't gotten super far. I'm only about like chapter 5 of Pride by E.B. Zaboy. I'm really liking this so far. I think it's going to read really, really quickly. That is about Zuri and Darius, and what they assume is his brother, which you don't have confirmation of yet, is moved in across the street. Already there's tension between him and Zuri, and he's very standoffish, and the guy that he's with, you assume is his brother. His name's Ainsley. Brother's name's Ainsley, and Ainsley is like Bingley, which I love. I love Bingley. That was a character that was kind of missing in the Alyosha at Last retelling, so I'm kind of happy to see that. And I don't think they're brothers. I think they're relatives of some kind, but I'm not quite sure what their deal is and what's going on with them yet. They're already getting a lot of attention. I'm already really liking Zuri. There's something great about the setting right now in Bushwick, and there's already conversations about gentrification and what that means. And yeah, I'm really digging the vibe of this right now. And it's got a really poetic style, which I guess E.B. Zaboy is known for. So I'm really, really digging it. And I'm really, really liking it. And I think it's going to read really, really quickly. And this one's 17, which I guess is more closer to a Pride and Prejudice version. Because I think in Lizzie's like 19 or 22. I have to look it up because I don't remember. That one I'm really excited for. My next audio that I'm going to be doing is Written by the Stars is Alexandria by LaFleur. And that is a queer sapphic Pride and Prejudice retelling. And I heard this is more of a loose retelling. And just by the description alone, it sounds like a loose retelling, which is fine. I'm totally fine with that. But I'm really going to check it out and see how it sounds and see what it's like and see what makes it different. They have a blind date that goes terribly wrong, the Darcy character and the Lizzie character. But then Darcy comes back to her and says, no, I actually need you to fake date with me because of some sort of thing. So it's actually a fake dating trope, which is so much fun. Lizzie and Darcy fake dating trope. I'm here for it. So that's what I'm planning on reading next. I'm going to try to do as best I can with this vlog. This weekend's going to be busy. I have plans for tomorrow. We're doing some sort of thing. Husband has a panel, virtual. We have a virtual thing to do. And then we're going to the zoo on Sunday, which I'm really excited about. That'll be a lot of fun. And we're seeing some friends of ours that we haven't seen since pre-COVID. We're all vaccinated. But I'm really excited about it because, I don't know, it'll just be a lot of fun. I'm hoping to finish this vlog by Sunday. Most likely I'll probably finish it Monday. Here's hoping. Here's my little meal break. I've hop onto a meeting now. Go on the rest of my day. So I'll keep you posted on what's happening with me. I'll talk to you later. like we have been here before. Hello, it's Monday again. So you've seen what I've been doing this weekend, a little bit probably. And I didn't do much reading this weekend, unfortunately. Saturday, I was doing Nailed It, which is the Netflix show of basically cake fails. Amateur bakers trying to make really elaborate creations. And I purchased a Nailed It at Home kit that had a Zoom event. The Zoom event ended up being postponed 2 hours, which completely threw off my day. And then I didn't finish it in the time allotted. And I took a nap in between. And then I finally finished it after like several hours. But I did a pretty good job. Mostly because I took my time with it. If I had to try to actually do within the hour time limit, it would not have turned out as well. But obviously I didn't do much reading that day. And then yesterday, if you saw those clips as well, I went to the zoo. I've not been doing a whole heck of a lot of reading this weekend. And then I kind of came back from the zoo, fell asleep. But I did end up finishing Pride last night by E.B. Zoboy. I really liked it. Like 5 stars liked it. So this is about Zuri and Darius. And she's in the Bushwick neighborhood. She's slowly seen her neighborhood get, gentrified. So Darius is the boy who's moved across the street. It's obviously, they don't hit it off at all. But then as more time passes, things start to evolve between the two of them. There's a Warwick character, kind of like the bad guy. She has a sister in this who also kind of gets in trouble. But she's much younger. The Lydia character is like 13. There's so many elements that were done so well. And it was sweet, but a little bit sexy, and it was cute, but also it had so much of the social commentary that Jane Austen initially had in her novels, and I loved to see that in this retelling. In a modern retelling, it was dealing with modern social issues, gentrification, racial, cultural identity, and family themes. Like Pride and Prejudice especially was huge on family themes. It was done so well, and I really enjoyed it. I was reading it about halfway through. I started it I read a lot of it on Friday night. I almost finished it, and I was just like blown away. I just thought it was like, wow, this is really good. I'm liking this more than I thought I was going to. I mean, I feel like it could have been fleshed out a little bit more because it is shorter. It's only about 280 pages, and there could have been so much more details fleshed out. But I thought what you got was just still so good. I think it was a great modern retelling. It's also beautifully written. She does a lot of poetry, this character, so there's a lot of poetry aspects to it, and I just think the writing was really lyrical in itself anyway. And the poetry added to that, which in the acknowledgments, E.B. Zoboy mentions Elizabeth Acevedo contributing a little bit to the poetry, so I think that she might have helped with that. And of course the poetry was excellent. It was just enough of the storyline that I was able to follow the original Pride and Prejudice narrative, but so different that it was still something entirely new and something that was just a really great modern Pride and Prejudice with the modern social commentary. It was really, really well done. And there's also a little bit more about like racism and classism, which classism is a huge part of Jane Austen's works. It was excellent. I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. Definitely probably one of my favorite retellings so far. I started Written in the Stars by Alexandria Bellafleur. I don't know if I'm going to finish it by the end of this vlog, which I'm going to have to end today because I wanted to post it tomorrow. I don't know if that's going to happen. So I'm going to continue reading Written in the Stars, even though historical romance readathon starts today, which I did have a TBR for. So it started Written in the Stars. I don't think I'm going to finish it today, but I will say the beginning was great, and I really enjoyed it, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be a loose retelling. It still seems interesting. 5 stars to Pride. I'll probably check in one last time, and we'll go from there. Happy Monday morning.
Hello. So it is now Wednesday of the following week. This vlog is only supposed to last till Sunday or Monday at the latest, but here we are. It's Wednesday. I decided to go ahead and I just figured I just needed to finish one more book. So I finished Written in the Stars. I actually finished that today by Alexandria Bellafleur. This was about Darcy and Elle, and they are a sapphic queer romance. Darcy is a lesbian and Elle is bisexual. It is a very, very loose retelling of Pride and Prejudice. I will say that. It is a very, very loose retelling of Pride and Prejudice. There's some similar names. So Elle, whose long form of her name is Elizabeth, does have a sister named Jane and does have a sister named Lydia, but she also has a brother. Darcy has some family issues of her own. She has a brother who I really like the brother. I hope there's a book about the brother because I really liked him. His name was Brennan and he was a great character. The first date vibe was very similar to Pride and Prejudice. You have the awful first impression. You have the overhearing the really nasty comment from Elle hearing Darcy's really nasty comment about Elle that hurts Elle and she goes off. And then from there, she reads very differently, which was not a bad thing. I actually still really, really enjoyed the book, and I thought it was really cute and steamy, and I love the connection between the two of them, and I love how Darcy got caught up in her feelings. There was just so many really good things about it. But it was a very loose retelling. I think it actually hits more on the trope of Grump and Sunshine. Elle is very much a Sunshine character, and Darcy was very much a Grump. And I feel like I fit that trope better than the Pride and Prejudice, because the Pride and Prejudice was very, very loose. And I would say, out of the traditional Jane Austen Pride and Prejudice, Darcy's definitely kind of a Grump character, but Elizabeth isn't a Sunshine. I'm sorry. Elizabeth isn't a Sunshine character to me. Lizzie is not a Sunshine character to me. She's quick and witty, but not like... Jane is probably more a Sunshine character. Lizzie's sister is definitely more of a like super optimistic and just super sweet, and she reads more as a Sunshine character than I would say Lizzie does. Lizzie is very, can be very judgmental, and Elle wasn't like that at all. Darcy was very much that and very prideful, I feel, but not so much Elle. So it was very loose retelling, but again, I still really enjoyed it and still thought it was really cute. And if you wanted something that was a really cute sapphic romance, definitely recommend this one. It is really, really good and really adorable. I thought there was some really great moments between the two of them, and also great moments about like overcoming the obstacles that you put in the way for yourself, as well as being authentic to yourself. And I thought that was really well done, and yes, really lovely. Very much enjoyed, and I really recommend the audio. I thought the audio was really done really well. But sometimes I had a hard time differentiating between when the perspectives shifted, because the perspectives shifted often, and sometimes like in the middle of of like a section, and I was kind of like, oh, we have another perspective happening. I thought we were in Elle's perspective, now we're in Darcy's. That got kind of a little bit confusing for me, but that was a minor point. I still really, really enjoyed it. I'm really glad I read it as part of this reading vlog. As of now, I am wrapping up this reading vlog because I am done. That's going to conclude my Jane Austen June. I'll probably post this on Friday, which will technically be in July, but here we are. It's Wednesday, it's June 30th, so I'm finishing my Jane Austen June today, and now I'm picking up my historical romance readathon, which I was supposed to start on Monday, but I have not started. It reads today. So I'm going to do that and focus on that and move on from my Jane Austen June. So I hope you enjoyed my content for Jane Austen June. And as for those who entered the contest, I will probably select the person who wins when I post this video, which will probably most likely will be going up on Friday. I really enjoyed my Pride and Prejudice adventure and my retelling adventure. I think I need to redo retellings more often because I really enjoyed a lot of these, especially Pride, especially Aisha at Last. And there's like several more that I need to read. So I'm going to kind of do this more often because I really enjoyed those two especially. And I really liked Written in the Stars as well. So more of inspired, I would say it's less retelling and more inspired by. So that concludes this reading vlog. That was kind of a hot mess. I apologize. My weekend threw me off, and then I took too long to recover for my reading early in the week. So this is where we're at. We're here. So anyway, that's it for me today. I'm going to close here. Feel free to comment down below maybe what your favorite retelling is. Yeah, what's a favorite retelling of yours if you have one? I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw and want to see more bookish things from me, please subscribe and hit likes and bells. I would really appreciate it. As well as you can follow me on all the things. And all my social media is linked down below. And follow me there. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye!